Divorce first aid. What on earth is that? You're probably having, there's probably about 3 different types of reactions that you might be having now. One set of you are thinking, it's nothing to do with me. People's private lives, I don't get involved. In fact, I don't even know anyone who's getting divorced or even being divorced. Well, maybe the person at the checkout, perhaps my cleaner or whatever, but really it's just not on my radar. Maybe this is you. God, been there, done there, got the t-shirt, don't talk to me about it. It was horrible. In fact, it's still horrible. It's kind of going on. I can never put it to rest. And but I just don't want to talk about it anymore because it's depressing and I don't even want to think about it. So, again, if I see someone in that situation, I just stay away. I don't want to have anything to do with it. Or maybe there's third group of you, hopefully perhaps this is the larger group. Divorce, oh God, yeah, I know people it's happened to, and work, it's a complete nightmare because it's my manager's been getting divorced for ages and she's often off sick and she's temperamental and to be honest, when she's off sick it's a relief, and then my other manager, my boss above her, he got divorced years ago, but it still seems to be going on and on and on. And you just try to listen and you try to be nice, but actually it's a real nuisance. And friends, oh God, you're trying to have a dinner party and you can't invite one, and it's a nightmare. But we know, what can you do? But it's just very inconvenient. I wish people could just keep their lives out of the workplace. You know what I mean? Of course, if you're the person who's going through that situation, those are the kind of reactions that you're getting, unspoken, obviously. And it's not really helping much, is it? So divorce first aid is about giving you another way of seeing that situation. Not saying that any of what I've just said may not be true for you, and there's nothing wrong with that, but there is another way of dealing with it. So in the same way that first aid can be a life-saving skill for someone. You don't have to be trained for years being a nurse or a doctor or surgeon in order to help save someone's life with basic first aid skills. Well, in the same way, divorce first aid gives you really simple information, the opportunity to be a little bit of a guide, really, to point them in the right direction, give them what they need, and not buy into the drama, which is not going to help them anyway, and actually empower them to find ways out of that situation. And that information is simple first aid, and like physical medical first aid, it can save lives, and I believe that. I've read that men are 3 times more likely to kill themselves if they've been divorced. I've heard that the statistics for children self-harming are going up, and these are children who are under immense stress because their parents are having a nasty divorce. There are so many ways that divorce impacts on business, on the team at work, on the company as a whole, on the bottom line, and on our country. The Marriage Foundation have calculated that divorce and family separation cost the UK over £44 billion. That's more than we spend on defence. It's a lot of money. So what's that costing individual companies? It's a lot of money, the cost, especially the long-term sickness. I hear so many stories about people who go off long-term sick, and everyone knows the root cause was the divorce. These things are actually avoidable, and I'll be able to explain how. I'd love to come and talk to you. So simple things that can help you feel much more confident about being involved, and when you're more confident with someone that is part of your team or with a family member or friend, then you won't need to feel it's none of my business or it's hurting me emotionally or would have perfectly valid reactions. You'll be able to go past that and see past that and actually give them a little bit of simple guidance and help, and it is very simple. So I'd like to come along and share that with you, and also a little bit about why I've ended up doing this. As you've probably guessed, it's not something you just wake up one morning and become the UK's alternative divorce guide. You may have seen me on Vanessa's show, Breakfast TV, and written for the Daily Mail, for Juno Parenting Magazine. So it's very much become part of my life, sharing what I've learned, not just through my work, but also from my own personal experience. I look forward to meeting you and coming to give you my Divorce First Aid for Employees talk. I'm Susie Miller, your Alternative Divorce Guide.